Everyone, welcome to Book Talk Tuesday. Today, I want to talk to you about one of my very favorite authors. He's a illustrator and an author, and he writes storybooks for all ages, I believe. Even though you might think these are for little kids, I use them almost every single day in my classroom to teach different reading strategies, to teach empathy, to teach creativity and perseverance, all sorts of different things. The reason I have them all here today is because it was my son's birthday a couple days ago, and well, actually just yesterday, but by the time this airs, it will be Tuesday. So I bought all of his books for my son for his birthday because they're just so wonderful, and I couldn't imagine not having them in my home collection, even though I have lots at school. I wanted to make sure that my son has access to them all the time because they are so marvelous, so wonderful, and to be honest, I can't think of very many books that aren't as wonderful as these ones from Peter Reynolds. So you might start to recognize, I know my students are very good at recognizing the characters and kind of the font that he always has. But one of the first ones is the Dot. I love this one, and I'll kind of flip through. You'll start to notice that he often starts out with very simple, even colorless type drawings. My students always notice that it gets more colorful as it goes. They're all usually about some sort of creativity thing, about someone not believing in themselves and kind of working through that struggle and realizing how great they can be when they put their minds to it or when they believe in themselves. This one's another great one. It's called Sky Color. I have Happy Dreamer, Rose's Garden, also a really great one. Probably my student's favorite is this one. It's called Ish. We have the North Star, and this one called Playing from the Heart. I haven't read this one to my students yet, so they'll be excited when I get back to read that to them. This one he wrote with his twin brother, Going Places. And the latest, I have a couple others that are illustrated by him, so you can kind of see the pictures. If you know Judy Moody or Stink, he also illustrated those ones. Even the covers of like Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing, like the newer versions, the different editions, he illustrated those. If you get into him, you'll be able to tell his artistic ability right away. You'll kind of notice the way he draws certain characters and everything. It becomes very familiar once you kind of get into them. The latest one is so great. It's called The Word Collector, and I absolutely love it. It's got a really wonderful message, as do all of his books, but this is his latest one. If you are a parent or a kid, it's in the Scholastic Book Order, as are many of these, often in the Scholastic Book Order. If you're a teacher and you do any of your lessons with storybooks, these are the books to have in your collection. You have to get all of them. You have to use them probably for the rest of your teaching career. Trust me, they're the best for doing all sorts of different lessons. You can kind of pick so many things out of them that kids can relate to and connect to, and even teaching different themes through them, the kids can really pick up on them. So this one, I really love this one. I actually tweeted Peter Reynolds last week because my son, who just turned 4, used the word clamored. My husband doesn't even really know what that means, he said. But my son used it. He used it properly. So I had to say that he is now a word collector. And I tweeted Peter Reynolds. He tweeted me back saying like how neat is Caleb for doing that. So if you don't have these books, you need to go get them. They're available at your local library. You can bring them in, but I honestly recommend that these are the ones that you need to have in your personal collection. And if you're a teacher, you need to have these in your classroom, not just in the library. They need to be in every classroom, I believe, for all teachers. So go out, get them, and you will see how much children love them of all ages.